caltrop is an area denial weapon designed to stop the enemy. The caltrop is a sturdy, simple, yet effective weapon no matter its position. Its purpose was originally designed to stop elephant and donkey attacks. It graduated to stopping tanks. And now, the caltrop is your defense against propaganda, polished lies, and manufactured outrage. It's free from counterfeit credibility and synthetic truth. However, inside the walls of the caltrop, you're going to be forced to think. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Mike Calderese is the caltrop.
Coming down the mountain from the heaven to the hell, the Mike Calderese, the caltrop, he never stops, so ring the bell. He bring the facts, he's been up every morning till we sleep. He get it deep, Mike Calderese, in your head and in your sheets. And we don't mind and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the caltrop. And we don't mind and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the caltrop. And we don't mind and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the caltrop.
Good evening and welcome to the caltrop of this fantastic Friday night. Man, let me tell you something. It has been a week that I think we've all been waiting for, man. Some sun, some beating sun, some heat. It's a common question everybody asks. Like, would you rather have 100 degrees and searing heat, or would you rather have freezing, right? And, my answer always is I'd rather have 32 degrees. Now, I would rather have 90 over 10 because 10 shuts everything down. But 90 degrees or 85 degrees like it was this week where you didn't have a lot of humidity, you have a little bit of that, that March or May, April air wind blowing and everything. It's days like or weeks like this week are just absolutely phenomenal. But I got to tell you something. My shoulders from mixing stuff, from mortaring, from carrying block, man, my shoulders are legit finished this week. But that's good because all I have to do is talk. And I'm going to start off the show before we even do this with two birthdays. So yesterday, everybody, it was Valentino's 1-year birthday. I would bring him up to show to just have him sit here like he's been, but he's been up all day playing with his monkey balloons and everything else. It's funny what kids play with. You buy them all these toys and they'll play with the boxes and the balloons. But he's sleeping. So it was his 1-year birthday. I can't believe that this kid is 1 year old. And at the end of the show, I do have a little montage I put together. If you saw it on my Facebook page, I've already put it, but it's an interesting monologue. And today we have my dad, Jerry Calder. It's his birthday. He's 74 today. Everybody wish him happy birthday. I do not see the Rumble chat going on, but if anybody's in the Facebook chat, in the YouTube chat that wants to wish my dad a happy birthday, he knows many people in Brick Township, New Jersey. But we have a great show for you tonight. Obviously, we have Rikipedia joining us tonight, and I love nights like this because we can just veg out and talk about some ridiculousness, talk about some conspiracy. We obviously have some topics that are left over. Dan Blazarian, and we have a lot. Put it this way, I have a lot of topics that were left over. Like I said, from Swalwell rape allegations and finally stepping down, but denying everything, but stepping down from everything at the exact same time. It's very interesting what's going on. We have doctors going missing. We have questions about the moon, about whether or not we actually circled the moon. And I've been saving this topic for Rikipedia when he joins us. So without further ado, let's get to the mic's right. Shut the fuck up and listen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, do we even know what's real anymore? So I woke up every morning this past week, checked the socials, obviously, like I do on my toilet every day. And apparently Artemis II went around the moon, or did it? Because half the internet is like, bro, that rocket looked a little too smooth. There wasn't much heat scorching on it. Or look, that Earth looked better than the 1985 cameras. Yes, that is where we're at now, people. We don't trust space travel unless the camera shakes like it's filmed on a Nokia from 2003. And then we still won't believe it. NASA, if you ask me, could live stream a guy eating a sandwich on the moon. And people would still be like, nice try, asshole. That's clearly a Subway in Nevada. I've eaten that same sandwich and sat in that same rock, and that rock is comfortable. And I love the logic everyone throws out there. We haven't gone back to the moon in decades. Why haven't we? Why haven't they? Destroyed all of it. You hear all of these stories, and a lot of them are real. But it's like, I don't know why we haven't gone back to the moon. Maybe because the last time we went, we planted the flag, took some rocks, and realized there's nothing there. I mean, it's the only place on Earth or not Earth. That's not conspiracy theorists don't want to. That's like conspiracy theorists don't want a vacation there to the moon. Nobody's like, bro, the moon is hiding beachfront property. Or my favorite, hey guys, why can't I see space junkers, satellites in the pictures of Earth? I mean, that one's easy, maybe because they're really small compared to Earth. And just when you think all of this is completely full of shit, just then you start hearing about scientists going missing. not one. And that one, I'll admit, that one makes you raise an eyebrow to it. You start seeing lists online where it's not one nuclear scientist, it's 15 nuclear scientists dead or missing under mysterious circumstances. And suddenly you're like, okay, now we're not talking about fake moon landings or circlings anymore. Now we're talking about a Netflix documentary with music kicking in. Because it's never like, hey, 3 local dentists disappeared. No, it's always some top-level researcher in quantum energy who just discovered something groundbreaking. It's like, okay, cool, that's totally normal. Nothing suspicious about a guy working on advanced propulsion systems just vanishing like he owed money to the mob or maybe aliens. And people are like, it's just a coincidence. Really? Because if 3 Uber drivers suddenly disappeared, we'd call that a crisis. But if 10 nuclear scientists vanished, we're like, tough profession they're in. Scientists go missing or get killed all the time. Look at Iran, fucking heathens. Nothing to see here. They're just scientists. And then, because your brain is already broken, you start putting together and connecting everything. Now it's like, wait a fucking minute. The moon landing is fake. We didn't circle it. Scientists are just disappearing. UFO hearings are happening. And suddenly every politician is talking about transparency for space. Not Earth transparency or an American transparency, but space clarity. Oh, now you want transparency when it deals with space? You can't even tell us where our tax money went, besides moon round trips and war. But I'm supposed to believe you're about to tell me all about aliens? Yeah, okay. That's like a guy who lies about his job suddenly saying, no, babe, seriously, I have to come clean. I'm actually Batman. No, you're not. You still owe me $40. Pay your child support. And you don't even have to get me started on UFOs because now they don't even deny it anymore. This is the crazy part. So how's anything crazy? When the government now is just saying, yeah, they are unidentified aerial phenomenon. Oh, really? You mean UFOs with the rebranded name? That's like if Bigfoot held a press conference and said, I prefer undocumented forest resident over Bigfoot. But here's my favorite part of all this. The government admits just enough to keep you confused and keeping up with conspiracy theories. They don't give you enough to understand. No, just enough to ruin your sleep. So now you're laying in bed at 2 a.m. and you're like, okay, hold on. So the Earth pictures look better in 1985. The moon might be fake. Scientists might be getting whacked. Aliens might be real. Probing the fuck out of our president. And I still have to go to work tomorrow? That's the real conspiracy. Because no matter what's happening, fake moon, fake real aliens, missing geniuses, your boss is still like, hey, you going to finish that spreadsheet? Or in my case, you're going to finish that foundation, jerk off? That's me talk to myself. So here's where I land on all this. Do I think everything is fake? No. Well, maybe not. Do I think everything's a little weird? Absolutely. A lot weird. Because the truth isn't that there's one giant conspiracy. I don't think that's real. But I think there's that reality is just chaotic enough that all conspiracies feel believable. And that is way more terrifying than aliens probing assholes. At this point, if an alien landed in my backyard and said, "Take me to your leader," I just hand him my phone and go, "Good luck, bro. There's DC. It's full of assholes to probe, but you're going to have to go through a lot of shit before you reach your destination." Oh, man. I hope you listen, because that's Mike's right. All right, nice little fun one. Come on, we have to have some fun. We have to have some fun today. And I'm going to bring on my man, Rikipedia. Rikipedia, how you doing there, kid?
What's up? I'm doing great, man. I'm only being helped right now by an IPA because, like you said before, we had nice weather. Hasn't been like this. I feel like spring days are less common now than like a decade or two ago. But I was in the sun, not as much as you. You got that tan going. I didn't get that tan out, but I definitely the sun kicked my ass. So
yo, man, I get crispy quick. I like walk out to the mailbox, check the mail on a 90-degree day, bro. And I already you see me in
olive oil skin, right?
Olive dude. It's
skin.
just it's fergalicious. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's no, it's I'm in the sun all day. I actually have the beater tan. If I pulled this off right now, it looks like I'm a little red. So like the first good sun, I'll get the red on my shoulders. Yeah. You know, like I wear red on Fridays, you know, remembering the troops deployed, but I definitely have red underneath this a little bit because I've been nice days, man. I can't stay in a shirt. I put my beater on. Sometimes the beater comes off, man. I got a suntan the titties. But what are you drinking?
We're meant to be outside, dude. We are. The sun is our fuel. It's a perpetual IPA, Trogs Perpetual IPA.
So I ran and got some Miller Lights at my local, you know, beer dispensing, liquor, scotch dispensing facility in Brick over there. And I ran into a local Bricktown beer brewery. And I told them I would taste this live on air. Okay. So I was doing some taste tests, but I got this one. This is Leaning Fathers Brewing. Leaning Fathers Brewing. They're good beers, good times. Brick, New Jersey. Let's see. I like the sound. It sounded good. Right? Oh, that's a nice little smell right there. Okay, let's see. Now listen, I don't like IPAs. I don't like hoppy ass beers. If it's way too hoppy, I'm not gonna like this.
Okay, from someone who has drank IPAs, I've had the Leaning Fathers. I enjoy it. I drank it at Fat Patty's.
You know what, dude? This is really good. So Leaning Fathers Brewery. Hold on, I need one.
Yeah.
So this is called, wow.
Cheers, brother.
This is called Leaning Blonde. Cheers, everybody, to a nice little Friday. This is called Leaning Blonde. Let me tell you something. That is like hoppy enough for me, but it has a really...
It doesn't have like the bite, the bitter, like the...
No, it almost has like a little...
IPAs.
I don't know if it's a citrusy taste, or maybe that's the hops. But it has a really nice, clean... like crisp, almost like I said, I'm getting kind of like a not citrus, but kind of like I'm eating something in that family. Dude, that's a really good job they did on this.
I drink good
Leaning
IPAs.
Blonde, it's called.
Yeah, I drink good IPAs because they're usually 7% or above. So you know, I'm a lightweight 2, and I'm happy. So that's how I roll, man.
So totally no 2. I just get going. I'm like it's weird. I have a weird beer tolerance. I could drink beer all day. Not like some of the higher IPAs. Like there was a 12% that put me on my ass one time. But I could drink beer pretty much all day. If you take, and I could stay good, right? But if you take one shot, like if I do one shot after I've been drinking beer all day, then I'm fucking retarded. But we had Lynn, Cat Lady. How you doing, Lynch? It's happy Friday. Happy birthday, Papa Calories. And Totally Random says, is that a fake tan? Paulie D. Definitely not a fake tan. I don't do that kind of stuff. I keep my skin, free and clear of that bullshit. But hey, bro, so where do you want to start? Because listen, I have been waiting for you to do this, and I know we had a little bit of confusion, and the confusion's probably I was just way too banged up and high or whatever. I don't know with my listen. It's been the God's honest truth is I have been working my ass off, and I'm just getting back going. It's a long winter, so I've been trying to really put in the hours and make some stuff up here. But you're gonna talk to me, and you're gonna say that these Artemis pictures that we have, this isn't real. They didn't circle the moon. Is this what you're going to tell me here, buddy?
That's my stance.
That's your stance. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go into this. I'm telling you right now, I am a skeptic of this stance. Mm-hmm. But I love the conversation. So do me a favor. I would love it if you can lay it on me here, buddy. I have got – does everybody out there – hold on, everybody out there. If you have your conspiracy mind out there, let's have some fun tonight. If – it's a
good time to drink or smoke for anyone who's watching or listening.
Yes. All right. So if we say anything interesting, the show phone right now, I do have it on Do Not Disturb. We're going to see if it actually works. Do Not Disturb on this. But the show line is open all night long. I want you to join me. I bought this cute phone. Okay. I bought this cute phone for this purpose, only to hear what you guys have to say. And I want to hear what you guys have to say. So give the show right here. You see that 732-608-4358. 4358. If you want to call and be ready with a name and where you're calling from. I got to get used to doing that, Rikipedia. What's your name? Where you're calling from? Hey, welcome to the Caltrop. What's your name? Where you're calling from? I got to get you got to do that. I got to be
polite and proper, man.
Got to get that radio voice pumping out there. Right. Rikipedia. So let's go. If you want to go ahead, give us a call, 732-608-4358. Okay, Rikipedia, I am all ears. Why didn't we go around the moon? What's the story here?
The root of it, I think, with anyone who thinks this kind of way, who just questions this aspect of reality, the root cause is that we've been lied to and manipulated, and there's been all kinds of fuckery in our lives, and we've been screwed over in some type of way. Usually monetarily, but also socially. And then now we kind of feel like we're just being lied to about everything. So then that's how everything becomes a conspiracy. It's problematic because then people put crap on the internet. But when I landed upon the rabbit hole of the flat Earth versus hollow Earth, I dove in there too, versus the heliocentric model, the globe Earth. I gave each one its time. I spent time researching hollow Earth because my first thought, of course, was that the Earth was the Earth that we're told. We're on a ball and we're flying through space. So I was like, okay, hollow Earth makes more sense than flat Earth. So I did that one first. Too many flaws. Although there are caverns and tunnels and highways and DUMBs, deep underground military bases, and there's a lot underground too. Under the oceans too. But okay, and that was fun. Oceans are fun to. So then the next step, hollow Earth. I don't know. Let me check out the flat Earth theory. And instead of taking an approach where my first reaction to the question is from pictures, instead of choosing pictures, I instead go to empirical evidence. So I don't see that, and they'd be like, wow, that's awesome. I totally believe it right now. For me, I need time to scientifically analyze it, and empirical evidence is the evidence that you get from your own experimentation. So I can't go up there. I can't test that, but I can test the effects of that on me. So what is the moon? How does it, how do I perceive it before I see a picture of it up close? So that's how it all starts for me. It's just your grounded perception here, because we can't trust anything we see on these screens, man. It's crazy. It looks beautiful. It looks awesome. Right. But, all right. So that's where it all comes from, is the questioning and the testing. And the third step is looking at the footage and the video evidence and the many posted and reposted internet, CGI glitches on, people post on the internet of the craft of the Artemis. There's been the little ZGI. They named their floating space pet guy, their little stuffy. They named him ZGI. And it's like you're just messing with us. You're screwing with us, because I know you're using CGI for what you're showing me. But ZGI flickered and changed colors and patterns just kind of randomly, and people, screenshot it, freeze froze. You can look that up. There was
Bro, there's no way you could possibly fake a video or image.
I don't want to ever see that again. That's crazy.
You prefer that one? Yeah, that's my favorite. There's no way you could ever fake an image. Come on, you're telling me that's completely real? Rabbi Mike, completely real. I haven't brought Rabbi Mike out in a while. I fucking love him. But okay, so let's stop.
I can tell you the stuff that I've tested. I can either talk about the Artemis flaws, or I can tell you how I tested flat Earth theories. That's really what I was talking about. Hollow Earth first, then tested, didn't like it. Then
okay. Let's do this.
And I can give you my scientific experiments, like my own experiments. You can just go in your backyard and do some of these.
I don't think you can to test Earth.
So I don't believe in any of the pictures. And then when you rewind, you think about where it starts, and it starts from like, even before school, because they teach us in school, obviously, what the Earth looks like. But even before that, you've probably seen it movies when you're like, hopefully not 3, but like 4, 5, 6 years old. And Universal Studios, if you've seen the movie produced by Universal Studios, their first thing is the spinning globe, which the logo they came up with in the 40s, even though we didn't get a picture of it till the 60s, but whatever. So that is where it starts. It's programming. It's brilliant, man. It's brilliant. The adversary is really smart.
I don't understand why would anybody even want to convince you that we're a globe instead of a flat plane? I don't even understand the concept of trying to keep that from people.
You know what, dude? That's honestly I didn't have to say anything. You just naturally came up with the most important question about it, because like, why should I care? In your monologue, didn't you bring up about how, well, I got to go to work the next day, so how is this really affecting my life? How is this really changing anything type shit? Mm-hmm. So that's like, I think I know why it's really important. And when people hear this, they get turned off for various different reasons. But basically, we are, our energy is being siphoned, like from us. So instead of being able to progress and level up spiritually, like not only learning shit, I mean, like literally, just operating on a different vibration than the rest of the population, just being different in these crazy or seemingly crazy ways, is just something that we're like almost not allowed to do. Where was I going here? Why should I care? So we're supposed to have a natural progression of like a spiritual evolution through God's universe. And no matter if it's flat or round or hollow, it doesn't matter. We're supposed to keep going. And right now we're stuck in a loop. We're reincarnating. We're coming back. And we keep getting sent back. And it's a brilliant trick and a brilliant trap. And we're kind of, I think we did know this before too, like as humanity. I feel like we're almost deconstructing like our past, like we're finding out more and more and more about the truth that we actually do know, but we like forgot.
Well, so like there's things you said in there that I like the cyclical part of it, right? When you look at humanity throughout history does repeat itself, and that we do go in cycles, and the cycles tend to, repeat themselves over and over and over and over and over again. But let's stick on this flat Earth thing.
Wait, yeah, I'm sorry, I digress. Okay, so if you put a cow into a field and you give him all the grass that he needs to be comfy, and you don't really show him it's a big field. It's like 3 foot football fields by 3 foot football fields. So he can't see the fence. Then he's content. He's chilling. He doesn't really know. He's happy. He's fine. Once you tighten that cage, once you give him the space of only like 3 or 4 cows long, and he can only go each way a couple of steps, he's going to panic. He realizes he's in a prison. He realizes he's trapped. He's going to freak out. Do it with any animal. So we are that animal. We cannot see the walls of our container, so we don't realize we're in the prison. That's why it is.
But this
so
is
important.
That's philosophical. I
no,
understand
no.
that through the
It's
mind.
literal.
I don't
It's
get
literal.
That through the physicality.
There's a container. We're inside of a creation that has either always been stuck inside this way, or was spiritually cut off by God to keep the enemy that's invaded from progressing with us, because we are invaded. Imagine, I can't, oh man, it's tough to explain visually, but I'll try to paint a picture in your mind. Some people, it's better to even just close your eyes and just think just to get a real good picture in your head. But think about a kind of like a blank page that you can both like you can see and you can also like experience, like that you're like on. And so we collectively, people create the images and the words, and we color the page. Like God can see us doing it, and we're on the page creating it together. We co-create like this world. We're endowed with the gift of God. So what I think has happened is that whoever fought God, you know, the 200 fallen, the fallen angels, Lucifer, the old story, the Bible stuff, they were cast down. They were thrown out of like the higher vibration. They're like spiritual. They're like, you know, they're you know, it's not, we're in the third dimension. We have bodies. They don't have bodies. They're like spirits. So they were thrown down to a place to have bodies temporarily to like keep him here, like while he figured out what to do with him, and they had to place a container over. He had to close the system, because otherwise the Satan would come back. And we're trapped here with him and all his cronies, and that's the aliens. And what we have to do is we have to figure it out, which we're doing. We're getting better, and we have to realize how we're being played. So now we're in the stage right now that we are actually figuring out. Accepting it is rough, Mike.
Yeah, all of those things that you just said can happen on a globe.
You're a prisoner, not a slave, a prisoner.
So I get what you're saying, right? And if you take all that stuff, but all that could take all of that could take place on a globe, and not just a flat Earth. You know what I'm saying? So like when we talk about the flat Earth, we're actually talking about an Earth that's completely flat.
Yeah, but I don't think about it from a perspective of too much physicality. Like we're spiritual beings that think and feel things to create our reality, and we're placed in like a holographic electromagnetic, you know, I don't know how to describe creation. I'm not God, man, but we all have electricity and magnetism and water, and we think and feel things and make shit happen together. It's just like we're temporarily people, and there's way more to this. And what I say, where I find the urgency, where I find the importance of knowing where you are, is that because when you know where you are and you can't just conjecture about it, then you're much harder to control. When people can tell you something and you just accept it blindly, dude, they got you. When they got you.
No, this is philosophy that you're talking about, right? So like, I think we've merged philosophy. We merged Descartes with flat Earth here a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
But it's necessary though, because the only way to get the understanding of why it's important is to figure out. We forgot who we are. There's no. I know this is This is real crazy and heavy and deep and spiritual, whatever. But like, listen, that's what it is, man. That's the way it is. It's philosophical. Spiritual war. It's not philosophical. It's spiritual.
This is Descartes, bro. This is Descartes, right? This is I think, therefore I am type stuff. How do you know? What my philosophy teacher in college used to say, how do you know you're not just a thinking jar of silly putty on the planet Pluto, just dreaming this entire world up? And my response to him was always, well, if I'm a thinking jar of silly putty on the planet Pluto, dreaming this world up, I think I'm a pretty stupid jar of silly putty that I'm sitting in class with you and not on the beach with like surrounded by chicks right now with me. You know, so it's like, I understand the concept you're talking about because it's a philosophical one. How do you know you are not just constructing this entire world based off of your ability to think, right? And that's, I think that's where the philosophy comes into, because you don't. The only thing that we do that we know for certain right now, the only thing I know is that I'm a thinking being that's capable of whatever I want in my mind, really, right? So there is some validity to what you're saying, because the only thing anybody can be sure of is that they could think. They can't be sure of that what's around them. I'm not, maybe I'm thinking about this camera that's showing. I mean, me and you are having this conversation. Maybe we're just dreaming this whole fucking world up.
Like the Matrix, the movie The Matrix. They're all really in these little cells acting as like batteries or whatever, having like a dream, basically.
Avatar. But the Matrix implies a physical.
They're dreaming.
See, the Matrix is different, right? Because again, you're either plugged into a fake world or there's a real world. There's the two different dichotomies there, right? You're plugged into a fake one, and even in the Matrix, there was a real world that the fake world was powering.
So then,
You know,
what
and you,
what
and
world
you
are you
started
referring
this by
to
saying
when
our
you said
energy
maybe
was
I'm
getting
dreaming?
siphoned. Is that kind of what you're talking about?
Oh no, I just because you said maybe I'm dreaming it, so I'm thinking like where's the real you, or where's like the other you like dreaming it from?
Well, when I say dream, dream maybe that's just
That's my
that was
understanding.
me
Yes,
saying what my philosophy teacher used to say. We say thinking the world up, right? So we are conjuring all this in our own minds. Like
yeah,
we are dreaming it, we are imagining it, we're thinking it, whatever word you want to put there. But
yeah.
it is us, the ability to think, the only thing that we can actually be sure about.
Yeah, no, listen, it's totally it's very out there, crazy theory. However, I don't know. I've been testing this stuff for a long time. I can get into what showed me that we're not on a ball. Sorry, it took me 30 minutes into or 20 minutes in to get this, but
So hold on.
so,
Okay,
so
let's go to there because philosophy. Let me tell you
yeah,
something.
science. Let's go science. You
Let's go.
want,
Let's go science because
spiritual philosophy. The spiritual
tell me
spiritual
how we're not
philosophical
on a
importance
ball.
is like the motivation, and we're not by when you test it. All right, there's this bridge that they built in China, like in Beijing to Shanghai. It spans over 100 miles long. Okay, there was no construction, there was no surveying, there was no accounting for any curvature of the Earth. And there's all kinds of bridges never do. Surveyors they don't think about it when they're building and constructing even giant structures.
I can tell you why that is though.
There's people that have taken pictures from across the Great Lakes, from Canada to America on clear days. It just, I don't know, it just shouldn't happen. Maybe you can get like the tops if it's curving around. You should be able to get like the tops of the skyscrapers, but it doesn't. The sun and the moon, when the light shines down, they're two different temperatures. Like if moonlight was really reflected sunlight, I would think it would be warm, but moonlight is cooler than just regular night. Like if you go outside, next time you go outside at night, if on a nice full moon, clear night, stand, under your porch out of the moon, feel it for 30 seconds, see how it feels, and then go walk down the stairs and feel the moon for 30 seconds. It's cool, man. It's different. It's a different light. And it's
So
even
let's address a couple of those because I think I can address a number of these issues for you. You're not going to address the curvature of the Earth because you're always going off of the distance from the Earth to where you're trying to go. And as you're going, you're assuming that the curvature of the Earth, you're going with the Earth. That's number one. Number two, everyone has to, like that when you talk about curvature of the Earth, when you hear those numbers that are given about, you should have this amount of fall or this amount of rise or whatever it is, that's assuming you're on a perfectly rounded sphere. Our atmosphere can be a perfectly rounded sphere. But when you have Earth inside that we know has mountains, has valleys, has peaks, has different elevations, has land inland that's higher than land on the coast. When you have all these different things that are happening, it's not unreasonable to be able to spot something higher than you from a higher spot. So, for example, when I was in Maryland, they had a place called High Rock in Frederick, Maryland, and you go out there and you could see like 4 different states from over there. Right. But that's because that part was higher. And then you're going to have parts that are lower. And then you're also going to have parts that are higher. We can't do that. Like, we don't live on a perfectly flat, rounded ball. I mean, that is clear. But around us is what the ball is. And I think that's where that argument gets lost a little bit. Now, you think I'm wrong there?
No, listen, I understand the argument. It's just got to be either the ball is way bigger than we've been told, and it's not 8 inches every 2.4 miles squared, 2.2 miles squared, but or it's just not what we think it is. Like things aren't just solid. I don't think the moon is a rock. I don't think the sun. I don't believe in the planets. I don't believe in like the stars. Yeah, that's not like I don't believe that the moon is even a rock. I think it's a plasma discharge from. I think it's a light source.
I can tell you something. This suggests the moon takes a beating. You know what I'm saying? Shit is colliding with the moon all day, every day, like just beating the shit out of the moon. Look how many impacts that has.
Wait, can I ask you this though? So we have all these phones, iPhone 17, 18, I don't even know what the newest one is, but like we have all this technology, right? How come none of those astronauts could have taken like a Snapchat, like a 10-second little video of the Earth, like swooshing around, whirling around, maybe take a really high powered camera since we give NASA like $20 billion.
Would that even be believed?
By the way, there's
Would that be
another reason
believed?
to care. We give NASA $20 billion a year from tax money. Holy shit. If it's fake, if I'm right, then we're wasting $20 billion that can go to our
We
own
wasted 98 billion. That's what the total cost of this thing was. And that's, don't get me started that the fact that we have moon money and war money, but we don't have any other money to do anything else in America.
But that's why
with,
that's a reason to care though, That's a reason to care.
No,
like,
it 100% is a
our
reason
money.
to care. No, what I asked is like, what's the benefit to telling them that we live on a globe versus some type of flat plane? And
the answer is control. It's for control. Why do that? Why lie? Why would you want everyone to think that? It's to control us. So that we don't know about the prison. All right,
you can control us with a flat Earth just as good as you can with a round Earth.
Let me.
We controlled people when they thought the Earth was flat, bro. At one point, Earth was flat was the common science. That was like current science. The fucking Earth is flat, and then people were still under control.
Well, because then they had to switch the programming. They had to, the evil one is very smart. He had to use his tactics, man. He had to trick us. So, basically,
I can accept that.
The container has there's certain spots in it that are very unavoidable and obvious. And so, because what I'm suggesting is that we live on this like little creative plane, and that there's some sort of container put on it to keep something bad from getting out, and we're stuck with it. So that's the theory. So the edges of the container, the edge is Antarctica. Now, what's the only treaty ever that's been signed by it's like 100 or no, it's like 62 countries. 62 countries signed the Antarctic Treaty in the late 50s, early 60s, just after Admiral Richard E. Byrd returned from his voyage and went on television and said there's vast unexplored lands and way different weather that is greater than the continental United States. So he goes on that mission, says that on TV, and then we got the Antarctic Treaty a couple years later, right, in the early 60s. Then, 1964, they have Operation Fishbowl. Okay, Operation Fishbowl was a 1.5 megaton nuclear bomb that they wanted to test and launch it straight into the sky, and just keep everyone safe, dude. They were trying to test the container. They were trying to see if the firmament had could be cracked. They're trying to get out, man. We're stuck.
So why hasn't anybody checked? Like,
why
I've heard the snow globe theory.
It's the only treaty that has ever been signed by multiple countries that's never been broken.
But come on, the firmament just doesn't. I can't buy the firmament because I tell you this: if we had if the Earth ended. The Earth is huge. If it's a flat disk, or if it's a snow globe, or we have an ice wall, or whatever it is,
is a better idea of it. Yeah.
Okay, snow globe. Let's say snow globe. Let's say it's a gigantic fucking snow globe. Okay, there is so much end to that snow globe, you wouldn't be able to patrol it all. Somebody would be getting to the end of that snow globe, and that pictures of the end of the snow globe will be getting out. Somebody would have been there, and everyone goes, "Oh, there's an ice wall," but that's fucking Antarctica's glaciers.
So, wait, you're right. Unless you get a third of the world's countries to make it a top priority to protect. If you had 62 countries,
you
can't look at the size. Hold on the regular map.
Do you know how much wall that is to fucking patrol with nobody going there?
Yeah, dude. But here's the thing. I don't think that humans are running the show here, man. I've finally come to accept that, like, dude, forget about aliens, man. There's malevolent, bad-willed entities that are really fucking with us, and that's where I'm at, man. I'm just trying to tell anyone that'll listen, and the evidence is becoming more and more clear. And it's a difficult reality to accept. But if we have, in The Wizard of Oz, everyone was scared of The Wizard of Oz until they peeled the curtain back and then they saw the old guy just pulling the levers. And then everyone was like, all right, well, you ain't shit. Goodbye. Like, we're taking our city back. That's the type shit we're on, Mike. And people don't, it's a problem because, like, this video, the internet is forever. So this video is gonna be on here forever. So I've been saying this for like 15 years, and people might be laughing at me in 30 years from now. Like, I might be completely wrong and crazy. However, if I'm right, like, dude, we gotta fucking act on that. That's just, people don't get that.
Listen,
I
again,
feel the urgency.
I have you here. So you're intriguing the shit out of me. Tell me about these entities. Let's talk about these entities. What are we thinking they are? Or is this the ancient remnants of the Anunnaki here? Like, what are we talking about?
Dude, all right. So this is where the Bible becomes relevant too, because Bible, like the books that were removed from the Bible, there's all different kinds of names of beings that are more powerful than us that are listed in the Bible. Okay, Elohim, angels, like giant, like just tons. There's a lot. The universe, like, we have to finally accept the universe is vast. There's all kinds of shit. It's not just us. Okay, this place is just for us, and that's great. But we got to go do the other shit too. I want to be the Incredible Hulk in some universe, man. What we dream can be our reality. We're spiritual beings. We forgot what the fuck we're doing. We're stuck here, and we got to get out now. It says it in Psalms 1. It's, or 19:11. It says, the firmament is his handiwork. Okay, the firmament is God's handiwork. Like the container, like the dome is handiwork. Like it. Oh, man, dude, I can't. I'm sorry. I get emotional when I talk. I don't really usually spill this out, brother. Like, it's nice to be able to get this out. I feel like everything that I say can sound crazy, but also everything that I say can be researched.
That's all right. Everything I say is crazy. So again, the firmament's translated. Right. And that's one of my issues.
They were cast out. They rebelled. All right. Okay. I tried to dive into the mind of Satan to see, like, if I was Satan, if that was true, what would I do? What would I be thinking?
Oh, dude. So the reverse of what would Jesus do?
You thinking,
instead of saying, what would Jesus do? I say, you know what? What would Satan do? That motherfucker. I like where your head's at, bro.
Hey, man, listen, my life's been crazy. The only way that I find something out for myself is by trying it. And that has led me to a lot of fun experiences and also a lot of, learning experiences. Okay. So, in this one thought, in this train of thought, like, instead of what would Jesus do, which we should do every day, that's what I believe, I've tried my life, what would Satan do? And then I thought about, what would Satan want besides physical things like lusting over women, because that's the first thing the angels did. The fallen angels, when they came down here, they chose wives and had giant babies. But what does he really want? So he rebelled against God. Why? Like, what's his motive? Well, he said that I want to be like God. I can be God. I'm the shit. He thought he was the shit. So he just wants to be the shit. That's all this is.
We have a private number. You want to answer the phone? Let's see. Hey, welcome to the Caltrop. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, what's going on? This is Ibrahim. I just want to say we undeclared George Sullivan, and now he is Islamic.
Ibrahim, where are you calling from, Ibrahim?
Well, that's undecided. I mean, I'm in the Jackson Howell border right here. I'm just giving you guys a heads up. So,
Ibrahim, I thought this is Friday night, bro. Shabbat Shalom. All right, I thought you were supposed to be eating with family.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Have a good night, guys.
Thanks, bud. Have a good day.
Thank you.
This call and feature is outstanding. Ibrahim, thank you for the call. There you call. So sorry, buddy. This is going to happen on Friday nights. So listen, okay. So you have me. I like the idea of, like, where you're going, right? Because I mean, biblical wise, when you read the Bible, there's definitely, when you say the sons of God, who exactly are the sons of God, right? Because they're referenced in the Bible, and they say the sons of God, mated with a human women and created the Nephilim, or whatever the hell they call them, Nephilim, whatever. I've heard it pronounced in a number of different ways. But they created this race of giants, and they were a scourge on the earth. And you hear about all this stuff. And a lot of people have theorized that a lot of the bad that's taking place right now is from the Nephilim, right? So is this what you're referencing? Because they say when you kill one of the Nephilims, they cannot, technically their spirit can't go anywhere. So they're basically trapped because God trapped them down here with us, and they've been killed, but they're evil spirits. They are what the demons are right now. Stuff like that. Is that really where you're going?
Yeah, yeah. They've done it through. They were like genetic engineers. They were brilliant scientists. So they basically, I think they can do it both in that way, and also body transferring. Like I think they can transfer their soul, their essence, or whatever to another body, and or like the bloodlines. Like they just protect the bloodline and pass it down. Like logs. I don't think the flood killed everyone. Yeah, like something like spiritually they've been preserved.
The flood
like,
couldn't have killed everyone,
or like literally like their bloodlines. Like I feel like they survived the flood. I feel like because they were like angels, man. We don't know what angels are. Imagine that you're an angel and you get thrown down and you're like a person,
dude. Like you said, right? You know, when we talk about the flood, if we're in one particular area and all of a sudden you get rain and it seems like it doesn't stop raining and your dike's over, like if we were primitive human beings that were living in the mountains of North Carolina, when that hurricane came through and all this mud and all this water and all this shit came ripping through and just destroyed you, what the fuck would you think that is? That would be your whole earth. You know, your whole world has gone up in the flood if you were right there. And you know what? The bottom line is when you do look at it, dude, Moses and his kids, and you're assuming that all of his kids were married before they got on the flood, right? Now you're talking about everybody is from those bloodlines. I don't know if actually, you know what? We actually ran the numbers on this. You know what's crazy? If you do take the number of people from Moses, I think you can repopulate to current numbers right now with starting from 2 people 3,500 years ago or whatever the fuck it is.
No
I
way,
think you can mathematically. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, we were doing it one night all fucking drunk. Now I think my mind is working on that, but I do think it's possible to repopulate the earth with 2 people the way numbers start exploding, right? So it's kind of like the mutual fund argument. You don't get a lot early on, but when your money starts building up, it starts multiplying much faster. When you start getting into 1 million people, 2 million people, it starts going 2 million, 8 million. You know what I'm saying? It really just starts fucking exploding from there. So it can happen. Believe it or not, it can happen pretty quick.
It can, and you know, if you want to finish the last part here with some stuff that you picked up from last night, that's cool. The other thing that you earlier you brought up the how there's no stars in the backdrop of some of the images from Artemis and some of that.
Well, satellites and space junk. People were complaining like, why can't I see satellites?
Why can't I see
satellites? 1,000 satellites? Why can't I see them?
Yeah, well, because they can't get above the Van Allen belt. Satellites are in low Earth orbit. I believe satellites are just like high altitude balloons, just like really like I don't know, just like very light. You know, not dense balloons that float up there. I think that's what satellites are basically. But okay,
I look at it like this, dude. You look. If you just sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. Let's go.
No, like okay, so that picture, like, why don't I see stars? Okay, whatever. I don't even care about that. Yeah, like so. I'm not looking for a constellation when I look behind the Earth. Also, you don't know the lighting. You know, if they're really there, and if the moon is glowing, then like you don't know the lighting that the moon has on the cameras either. So you can't look at that picture and be like, oh, well, I don't see any stars, so then it's fake. No, because you don't know how crazy it would be to take a picture in space. So that argument's not valid. What is our own perception. So when I look up at the sky, I lived in St. Louis for a job, years ago. So I drove into like Illinois, Indiana, and would literally just grab a 6-pack and lay on my Dodge Challenger and look at the stars and drink. And you can see a lot more stars over there, man. We're in Jersey. We're light polluted. So when I look up at the constellations, I can't see, my Ram up there. I'm an Aries. I can't see what's going on. But there's the whole sky is mapped. The constellations are just everyone knows where they are, when they're going to be there. They can write books.
Yeah, that trips me the fuck out. The constellations trip me out.
So wait, so just that, right? That's crazy. How do they know that? Okay, well, it's right. Okay, it's right. Well, if that's right, then the Earth doesn't make sense in the heliocentric model because we are shooting through the universe hundreds of thousands of miles an hour, spinning thousands of miles an hour. We are like just orbiting, gravitationally around some sun. Like, dude, we're not. We're like, it just doesn't make sense. There wouldn't be predictable constellations every single time for thousands of years. That doesn't make sense. If everything's random from Big Bang and
I
just
think it
shooting around.
rotates a little bit. So I think there's a different North Star every bunch of years.
No, North Star don't move. Well, it just kind of moves a little bit.
No,
Like,
I think it does. I think it's rotated
man,
like 15
here's my
degrees
thing.
every
If the
whatever
pyramids are
amount of
so
years.
if the pyramids are so great, okay, then if the universe was really just this crazy place of exploding stars and gravitationally inclined things just bouncing around, then in the last couple thousand years, we would have seen the effect of like a supernova or like a, some sort of black hole reaction. We would have seen the lighting change. Constellations would have changed from now in 2026 to when they were drawn on maps, 5,000-6,000 years ago. Something would have happened. Something would have been at least slightly different. And if you saying that it's going to be exactly the same and everything's right,
man.
then so I can't. I don't know. I
So
just
like,
like
the fact
something
that
would have
they're
had to
not
happen.
different definitely is interesting to me. So let me tell my thoughts on this. I definitely don't think you've seen the model where it's like we're all rotating around the sun while we're blasting through, like what you said, or blasting through the atmosphere.
The sun is doing its own thing too. Apparently, the sun's apparently shooting straight, but it's still moving towards something.
It's still moving towards something. So if that's the case,
kind of.
I think we would be smashing into shit a hell of a lot more, unless there's like space highways.
Yes.
But you would definitely not have the same constellation. So you wouldn't have the same exact view from space if that was taking place. Now, if we did have, a huge solar system that our stars are really like suns, that's what they say, they're suns that we could see, and every star is a different solar system that we could see from really, really, really far away. Now that makes sense to me because, like, let's say we have our big ass sun and we are rotating around the sun. Yeah. If that's the case, then the sky is going to be very similar because they're so far away. We can't fathom the amount of time it takes to get out there. And when you're talking about, how many light years are they saying some of these stars are? 25,000 light years away. So in 6,000 years, 3,000 years, it's probably not going to change because if it dies, let's just say we see that supernova and that star happen. It probably happened, fucking 7,000 years ago? Right. And we're just seeing it now, right?
Even more.
Even more. So we might not see it.
I'm saying something would have happened. If the universe is this vastly expanding thing, it's basically like it's a mind control game. I just think that we're in a container, we're being manipulated. They don't want us to know that, so they have to give us the illusion of no container. And the only way to do that is space. I got real, like, I don't know, deep, emotional, spiritual, whatever, philosophical, and I apologize for doing that. I appreciate it.
Don't fucking apologize. That's what the show's about, man. We love this shit.
All right. Well, I appreciate you giving me my time to talk,
philosophically as you want to go, bro.
I just thank you. There's a couple things I wrote down that I didn't even say that I wanted to, like, just quick proofs or quick like tests that I do from my perception, because what else can you do except for do it for yourself? You know what I mean? So you can't
I gotta tell you something, dude. I would say this: be careful.
I'll tell you some of the things that I did. Well, here's what I did. I just tried to test my perception, because I'm just, you can't see yourself. You can kind of see your nose and your mouth and your facial hair, sort of like, but you can't really see yourself until you're on a screen. So like, I just looked at the light and the temperature and just like how it felt. Like, I don't know. I just watched. I just watched the sun all day. I've watched the moon all night. I've just taken the time to like do these things just to see how I feel about it. And I don't know, man. I don't feel like I'm moving, brother. Maybe I'm smoking the wrong shit. I don't know. But it just doesn't feel like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like I'm going anywhere. So then I'm getting messed. I'm getting fucked with all these other ways, and there's fees everywhere, and just getting screwed over, and just people, like, you can't trust anyone. It's just a crazy time for that. So that combined with just the questioning of everything else is just become, everything's bullshit. I can only trust myself, and I'm going to do my own research and find out. And I took years to just, I just spent a lot of time. Like, I neglected sleep. I will not see 80 because I haven't slept enough in my life.
Dude, I love it, man. We don't have a lot of comments tonight. I can actually get into the Facebook comments.
Yeah, people don't like to.
New name says Thomas Dick Rolls. Dude, it's one of the best names I've ever heard in my life. Thomas Dick Rolls says, Mike sending love from South Jersey. At this rate, you're going to be on the next top 10 anti-Semite list behind Tucker. Hey, put me there. Let's fucking go. Put me on that list. And Jay Calda says, hello, where is everybody? I don't know, man. I guess they went to Jason's Furniture. And Mama Duke says, hello. Remember, Jay Calda, it's Jay Calda's birthday today. Do you want to go through a couple of these things with me? I want to go a little extra, bro?
What,
you got time?
Yeah. Are you talking about the stuff from the last episode?
Well, yeah, dude, I want to go through this Dan Bilzerian shit. Do you want to go through that with me?
Yeah.
All right, so check this out. So TMZ, dude, TMZ, I don't know what they're doing anymore. They look like they're a fool, if you ask me. They brought this guy on, I think, to try to make him look bad. And you tell me, bro, Rick, did you feel that Dan came out of that looking bad or looking good? Because he's been looking good from that interview to me, and since then he's going on all these interviews, and he sounds like a voice of reason. Does that sound fucking crazy to you?
Actually, no. You know, if you look at the image of Dan Bilzerian, you would never expect to agree with him on a lot. And I think you're right. Yeah, I think it was a smear campaign attempt, because why else would they bring him on? But he handled himself well, and when you speak in facts and confidence, and I mean, we'll see. I don't know, because there's people that are just so quick to judge from the past, and he has bad MO. With the women and the drinking and the gambling. So,
but I mean, that's that's the MO, right? And that's the image that he wanted to portray. So, listen, if this is what you want to portray, I'm cool with you portraying whatever you want. I have no problem with you doing.
America first is really what we only should care about. If anyone really is saying like, "Hey, listen, I see this, I see that, that's bad, this is bad," but like, so screw that. Let's cut all them off and just worry about us. I want that guy. So
I want,
that,
you know what I want?
Cool.
You know what I want? And this is the truth. And I thought I was getting this out of Trump. I thought I was getting a guy that was,
man.
I'm being serious. I thought I was getting a guy that was unapologetically himself. And maybe he is, maybe this is him. I do feel like I'm looking at a totally different person, but I do like people who are unapologetically themselves. I don't want you to give me your customer service representative. I don't want to meet that fucking person. How many people dating out there see, like, they date somebody for 5 or 6 months, and all they've really dated was their customer service representative. And then what happens? You actually meet the real person. The real piece of shit comes out. You get to upper level management, and you realize, wow, this fucking management is batshit crazy. And the girl you've been dating turns into a totally different human being. And that's what we see in politicians nonstop, left and right. And here you have a guy that is that's going up against these type of attacks and doing it with grace. Let's watch. This is 1 minute and 57 seconds. But I think I want you to watch the body language between Dan and the two jerk-offs from TMZ. I'm not even going to fucking say their names, but watch this encounter.
You called your opponent this fat Jew. So he's not from Israel, but you called a guy in Florida this fat Jew. How is that not anti-Semitic?
Well, he's a Jewish supremacist, and he puts Israel before America, and I think that he should be tried for treason.
This fat Jew is anti-Semitic.
Yes.
Dan.
I mean, that's what you say, but how about
that's
every
what
single time
that's what I know. I don't say it. I know
he
it.
literally talks about how Muslims are lower than dogs. So is that Islamophobic?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is. And that wouldn't be, that's not appropriate for him to say either. If he had said that.
But he does all the time. And he tweets that. And he's a senator.
Are you anti-Semitic?
No, I'm not anti-Semitic. I think that, that's kind of a made-up term. I think the Palestinians are the real Semites.
Term?
Yes, because if you look at what a Semite is...
Was Hitler anti-Semitic?
What's that?
Was Hitler anti-Semitic?
Like I said, it's the term is focused solely on Jews, but actual Semites are the Arabs, and Palestinians are Semites as well, and they actually have more DNA lineage to that region than any of the Eastern European Ashkenazi Jews that have taken it from them. So I kind of have issue with that term and how it's been hijacked to only talk about Jews.
So if you want to call it anti-Jewish, then you can call it anti-Jewish.
Well, I'm not going to call this anti-Jewish. When you say that this fat Jew, you could take another race and you could use another epithet, but you're anti-Semitic then.
I'm not. I
You
have
are.
Jewish. I have Jewish friends.
Oh, some of your best friends are Jewish?
All Jews with one brush, but he paints all Muslims with one brush, and it's accepted. And for some reason in this country, it is okay to just blast Muslims, bash them. You look at what Bill Maher said about Muslims. I mean, it's this double standard, and I don't like the double standard. And
So I'm gonna give him a C for that answer. He dropped 2-letter grades for the I have Jewish friends response. Hey man, I'm not anti-Semitic. I have Jewish friends. You know, this is what I was saying yesterday in the monologue, bro, because or Wednesday. When you're dealing with people that call you anti-Semitic, when people do that to me, I say, yeah, great, I am. Are you happy now? Like, do you think you've done something? Are you proud of yourself? Because whatever you think, I don't give a fuck. Right? Whatever you think I am. Are you anti-Semitic? When he asked me that question, I always said, yes. Yes, I don't care. Whatever anybody wants me to think out there, that's what I am. Are you happy? Because you know what? This is like the delay tactic. They could just, oh, well, you're an anti-Semitic, you're an anti-Semitic, you're an anti-Semite. And with these people saying, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Oh, yes, you are. Oh, no, I'm not. But what am I? I know you are, but what am I? And it's like a fucking 2-year-old little horse shit fucking game here. And the whole time they're sitting there going, oh, you're anti-Semitic for calling a guy a fat Jew. Fat Jew is the problem.
If he was Jewish, then he's a Jew, isn't he?
This is him. That's a fat Jew.
So
that is what a fat Jew looks like. That's not anti-Semitic. That is truth. That is fact.
Should he have said overweight? Should he have said overweight instead of fat? Probably.
Overweight Jewish gentleman, that would have not been anti-Semitic? Because look, see the double chin? That's the dead giveaway to a fat person. And then you see the yarmulke, that's a dead giveaway to a Jew.
Yeah.
All right, one more. All right, you see how fat this guy is? This is a fat Jew. That is not anti-Semitic. That is a descriptive term. He calls himself Jewish. So again, I thought Jew was like, I thought that was endearing to these people because you're a Jew, right? If you're Jewish, you're kind of like partially Jewish. You're like, Jew, I'm Jewish, kind of. You know what I'm talking about? I'm like fucking kind of Jewish. Dude, I thought, no, you're a Jew. Okay, you're a hardcore fucking, this guy's a hardcore Jew. Fat Jew. That's what the fuck he is. How's that anti-Semitic?
Here's how. When you're in school and you're ragging on your friend and you flip him the bird or something in class, you know, the teacher like yells at you, right? You flip the bird at the superintendent, you're getting suspended. Or expelled. So you can't mess with the authoritative figure in any controlled setting. And
especially a fat one.
And the Jews are controlling things in this country. This is a fact. That doesn't make me anti-Semitic. That is a program that has been put in your mind to create division because we've been divided and conquered for hundreds of years. The only thing we have to identify is we are all different colored bugs in a jar coexisting. Someone shakes the jar and dumps us on the table. We shouldn't fight each other. We should get the guy who's shaking the jar. Now, if I'm right, and if the Jewish people, or the whatever the Khazarian mafia, okay, the invaders, if that is, and that doesn't mean all Jewish people are bad, but if the ones that are pulling the strings are
that every fucking
time.
I
know, but
it's like fucking Seinfeld. Not that there's anything wrong with that with the gays, like and no matter who talks about Jews, it's like, well, I'm not talking about all Jews.
Yeah, not you, buddy, but them. So they just need. Okay, so I think that they are the chosen ones of Satan, and that they are being selected and placed in certain countries and in certain positions of power, and it's all part of the bad guys' operation. That's my.
So it's funny you said that. It's funny you said that. I'm gonna play a minute and a half of Theo Vaughn on Israel, and I got to tell you something. You know, like I like this dude because he comes at it in like I'm a dumbass perspective, but he is a He's a deeper thinker than people I think want to give him credit for. And you know, when people like Mark Levin are attacking you, I think you're doing something right. But listen to what he had to say on this.
A lot of uncomfort about America's relationship with Israel, the
Shout out
Israeli
Theo, bro.
political leaders. That's what I mean.
Real.
I believe that group it just feels like a satanic regime. It doesn't seem, it feels like they just want to cause pain. They just, I mean, they don't even know where all the bodies from Gaza are, and they're already moved on to other places that they are attacking, and that America's associated now with their attacks. And I believe that will come here one day. I don't believe that the Israeli leaders, that they have any intention to stop that. I don't see that they have any care for the American people. It doesn't seem like that. I've never heard that spoken. And I believe that if we don't speak up now, that our children won't have the chance to speak up, either by law or by worse. And that may sound crazy to some people, and that's fine if it does. If
No,
it does
he's
sound
so
crazy to
right.
you and you think I'm crazy on that point of view, that's okay. I don't,
That's not
I may
crazy, bro.
disagree with you, but that's okay. I do want to, I worked hard to be able to have a voice for myself. And so I hope at least you just respect that, or I hope at least you just see that. Like,
Dude, I think he fucking nails it, man. And you know what, dude? He said something there at the very end that I think, when you look around at all this stuff and what you just said there about Satan, there definitely seems like there's a group of people that are about themselves and not about everybody else. There's, when he said our children, if I don't speak up now, our children won't have the ability to speak up. I look in my area where I go, what, I'm raising my kids here, and when you look at other areas in New Jersey and other areas in New York that are dealing with the same problems that Ocean County is, they say the exact same thing. Like, this town used to be full of one group of people. It had this, had restaurants, and now it's one group and the schools are destroyed. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they only have schools for one group of people, and everything's different. And people weren't allowed to speak up then. And before they even realized that it was over with. And now, I love what he said that, like, I'm going to use my platform to speak up because I do feel like there's a problem. And, again, like, when you just look at the founding of Israel and everything that they're doing, even now, everybody's celebrating that, Lebanon, Trump said, oh, the Israel's done bombing Lebanon. Well, they took southern Lebanon. That's what they want in the fucking first place.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? Are they going to give that back, or are we just letting them fucking take everybody's land with our help? Like, what are we fucking doing, right?
Mm.
It's infuriating to me when I watch all of this stuff, dude. But
I have a logical question for you. So
all right.
I saw news that Tel Aviv was getting carpet bombed or whatever. It was apparently like hundreds of these missiles that the Iron Dome was failing on for a while. And people, I saw videos of people like fleeing parts of Israel. How are they still organized enough to destroy Lebanon if they're really getting taken on heavy fire by Iran? I don't trust any of them. Like, it's all a game, man. They're all playing some kind of test.
I think they got some shit blown up, but I think that's war. You get shit blown up and you blow up. Like, you look at a battleship. A battleship could take a lot of punishment and still deal a lot of punishment, right? So, excuse me.
I
think you're able. I think you're definitely able to. Once bombs start dropping, you're going to start unleashing them. You're going to start letting them loose, man. I
hope Theo's wrong about the part where the bombs come here, but it's people don't.
This
even
is my
realize
problem. This is my problem with this. We can't keep fucking with everybody and dropping bombs on everybody, and not expect it to create hate in the future. We can't do it. I mean, it does not work. There's gonna be a time where we are not the biggest and the baddest. Everyone has to remember that. Like, every empire is fallen. We're not going to be the greatest forever.
Yeah.
And, you know, whether it's my grandkids or great grandkids or my kids that are going to be living through this fall of America, you know, at some point it's coming to these lands where we are going to get it's going to get bombarded, and we're going to have missiles and bombs if we don't get our shit together, man. You know, if you just continue to create enemies, like I said the other day, if I was Iran's leaders, I would say whatever I needed to say to make a deal to stop it now. And then go and do what I've always fucking done. And get it when the Democrat gets in there. I'm just going to start working towards a nuke. And then nothing is going to get me more motivated to have a nuclear weapon than what the fuck just took place. If anything,
Damn.
Iran really has a legitimate reason now to destroy Israel.
Yeah.
Israel gave them the reason to do it. You know,
I
and
mean,
this is the thing. Like, when you sit back and you say, like, you know, you have those feelings about them, you know, they are causing a lot of pain in the area. They are.
Yeah.
Whatever anybody wants to say, they are causing a lot of pain in the area. You know, Trump says enough's enough with Lebanon. Okay, well, what have we done? That whole area is absolutely destroyed. You know, have you seen this? Oh my God, watch fucking this shit. This drives me crazy, bro. Because you have Jared Kushner talking about, and I'm not going to play the whole 2 minutes, but this is Jared Kushner on the new Gaza.
We did a master plan. We brought in, I think, Yakir Gabay, who's one of the most successful real estate developers and brilliant people I know. He's volunteered to do this, not for profit, really because of his heart. He wants to do this. And we've developed ways to redevelop Gaza. Gaza, as President Trump's been saying, has amazing potential. And this is for the people of Gaza. We've developed it into zones. In the beginning, we were toying with the idea of saying, let's build a free zone, and then we have a Hamas zone. And then we said, you know what, let's just plan for catastrophic success. Hamas signed a deal to demilitarize. That is what we are going to enforce. People ask us what our plan B is. We do not have a plan B. We have a plan. We signed an agreement. We are all committed to making that agreement work. There's a master plan. We'll be doing it in phasing. In the Middle East, they build cities like this in 2-3 million people. They build this in 3 years. And so stuff like this is very doable if we make it happen. Rafa will start with.
Do you just fucking hear that? This, when the conspiracy of, hey, you're an anti-Semite if you want to say Israel wants to take control of Gaza, that was anti-Semitic talk 10 years ago. And now you have a Jewish dude talking about his plan to take over Gaza in 3 years with no plan B, going off of catastrophic success, and that's their master plan. Their master plan in phases.
He admitted a master plan. He had the audacity to nonchalantly say it's for the people of Gaza. That's crazy, dude. You're like,
this is fucking insane. And they just took more land from him.
How do people? I don't understand how people don't see that something's wrong.
I don't understand either, but this is Dan Blazarian on TMZ asking him, why is Israel the enemy? Ready? I think he does a fantastic job of spelling out their history, because people don't realize that they are an actual terrorist state. You know, and when I say this, everybody, I want to make one thing very clear. I'm not defending Pakistan, fucking Iran, Iraq, Palestine, any of these places. I don't care about any of these places. Fuck all of them. Fuck all their ideologies. Fuck all their mindsets. If you're I don't care. I don't care if you're one of those hardcore religious people that want to take your religion and inject it into your government. I don't give a fuck about you in any way, shape, or form. And I mean that. I don't care who you come from. But when I say that there's terrorists all over that area, I fucking mean it. And everybody is a terrorist, and everyone has a reason why they're fighting. And it's ignorant when I see all this stuff. But Dan lays this out really cool. Check this out.
You seem to view Israel as the enemy here. Could you explain?
Well, I mean, they're a terrorist nation. They were founded by terrorists, and they've been committing terrorism since their inception. I mean, and prior to their inception, they bombed the King David Hotel. They poisoned Palestinian wells. I mean, they've been a disaster. I mean, the Haganah, the Irgun, and the Stern Gang is what comprised the IDF, and those were all designated terrorist organizations. So, and the leaders of those organizations went on to become prime ministers of Israel. So this is a country that was founded on terrorism. They've been committing terrorist attacks. They've been committing a genocide, and we're paying for it to our own detriment, and they're dog walking us into wars. So, yeah, I don't know how you could ever view them as an ally. They've attacked U.S. warships. I mean, I don't know if you're aware of the different false flag attacks that they've committed, but it's been numerous. The Lavon affair, I mean, they bombed U.S. cinemas and British cinemas and libraries, trying to blame that on the Muslim Brotherhood.
I mean, Dan, I'm sorry, I just wanted to, because I know that some of the things you're talking about, and those are theories that are out there that are not proven.
This is not debated.
Look, there's I don't want to spend the time kind of getting into that, because believe me, there's a big response to what you just said.
Theories, bro. So the Stern Gang and the three names that he listed, that it wasn't a theory that they were in fact designated a terrorist organization by Britain. That's not a theory. That's fact. The King David Hotel was 100% bombed by what they had back then, which was Israeli terrorists. Okay, they definitely poisoned wells. That happened. That's not that is not theory. The Stern Gang is not theory. The fact that those leaders went in to be prime ministers of Israel, that is not theory. That is 100% verifiable fact. I mean, you see how they went about this, theories. So it's nothing but like trying to discredit and call them names and label. That's all they have. It's unbelievable to watch take place, and it's unbelievable that something that fucking pathetic has lasted this long.
Yeah, that's what boils my blood, man. I don't understand why other people can't try to see a different perspective. It's just that the cognitive dissonance, the initial brain response to, you know, like being triggered. That's what cognitive dissonance is. So like the trigger response to just defend to the death, like what you were told, and to not question your reality is just a lot. It's just crazy to me. I hope that we can get to it. I feel like I'm in the United States of Israel, you know, and I'm not alone in feeling that way. It feels like, you know, I'm not too privy to all the relationships of the American foreign policy with the whole world, but like you said, we are severing many just by our relationship with Israel. To me, it's like a cancer inside of us, and we got to cut that tumor out, because it's getting bad, man.
And you know, when I said it bothers me that we always have to clarify our position on one. So just so we're fucking clear, this is him. This is Dan clearing himself up.
And let me clarify this, because I know that it's just frustrating that you always have to say this, but there's people that just cannot wrap their hands around. Not every Jew is bad, but Jews can also be causing problems. So just because you know one good Jew doesn't mean that Jews aren't causing problems. Just like if I were to tell you that Asians are short and you say, oh no, but I know a tall Asian. Okay, motherfucker, Asians are still short. You know a tall Asian, great. And my point is that all Jews do not have to be bad for Jews to be causing problems. And that's what I'm trying to say. Just like all Jews do not have to be bad for Jews to be causing problems. And that's what I'm trying to say. Just like, there's definitely Muslims that are causing problems. But to say that all Muslims are bad is just an ignorant statement.
Well, that's why I use the juxtaposition.
So I like what he said there, because, we get into this, and I do like his position on this. We have a situation, bro, where you can't say anything about one person, but you could bash the fuck out of another person, right? So last Wednesday we had Elliot Shemtov on. He's a candidate for Jackson Township mayor, right? And they have a situation over there where he had dinner with a Palestinian woman. He had dinner and coffee with a Palestinian resident who is a voter, and for whatever reason, bro, it's okay for Jewish male politicians to shit all over this woman. It's okay for the Lakewood Scoop to shit all over this woman, to put this woman on blast, to attack her in the media. a woman that's not in the media, that is not running for politics, from what I could gather, a woman that was just wanted to know if she could vote for somebody or not. And it's funny how that is accepted, that's allowed, that's not only allowed, that's pushed. Like, that group of people could hate somebody for what they believe, while at the same time saying you can't hate me for what I believe. And one is tolerated and one is not. It really blows my mind, bro. Do you see that? Is it as glaring as you thought?
I only learned it from figuring out who you can't talk badly about, man. I've always been outspoken. I've been overspoken in my life. My mouth and my words have gotten me into trouble. And what I've learned is that the only way I've gotten into trouble is when I talked badly about the people that were in control of the situation. Like, I don't know. It's like simple math. And
it's really a simple math. And ready. And this is the math. It's. I love the way this guy puts this, and I actually copied it from him, and I'm unapologetically gonna fucking say that I copied this from him.
You know, I proposed the bill against dual citizenship. I'm proposing bills against dual loyalties. Hold on a second. Thomas Massey proposed those bills a year ago, and Fine voted against them. So Randy Fine voted against the bill when it was Massey, and then reintroduced it as his own, like it was his idea.
It's all bullshit, man. It's all bullshit. He's Jew first, Israel second, and America fucking last. And it's not going to change.
He's Jew first, Israel second, and America fucking last.
That's what it feels like. That's what it really feels like.
This is what it feels like from a lot of people in our government. And I'll say that about Lindsey Graham, who's not Jewish. I'll say that about Hakeem Jeffries, who's not Jewish. I'll say that about Ted Cruz, who is not Jewish at all. These people are 100%, for whatever reason, still Jew first, Israel second, and America last. And I don't, I hate it because I get the feeling that Trump is too. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's in that same boat of Jew first, Israel second, America last. And I just, any of the Christian sycophants that have to feel like they have to honor, any other religion, a religion that hates them, a religion that hates their Messiah, a religion that different rabbis in the Talmud have said that he's, potentially burning in excrement, but they debate on which Yeshua it is. Yeah. Okay. Yeshua from Nazarene. I guess that's not Jesus from Nazareth. Yeah.
If people knew, just like I've said about if the common man really knew about the banking system, then we can crash it tomorrow. In the same way, I say if people really knew some scriptures of the Talmud, there would be uprisings shortly. What's happened is that there's this smoke screen around us, and as an American citizen right now, I feel like America is the daddy of Israel in that, and like Israel's like the bad kid that like keeps getting in trouble, and the dad's got to like either help him or bail him out. And like I'm the ex, and I'm like paying alimony to these, the dad or the stepdad or whatever, and the bad son to just do all these things. Like people don't see how our money, our just our way of life, just so many systems in America could and should be improved. But like our money is going elsewhere. Like we're trillions of dollars in debt as a nation, right? But we're still sending billions of dollars to other countries, mostly Israel, for weapons of war. What if you think that all is right in the world and just accept that as a part of like the right reality, then I don't know what world you're living in. Like everything's all wrong. We're supposed to be working together. We're supposed to be, connected humans, these higher spiritual beings, but we are just in this fallen state, and we are being controlled by psychopaths that are just siphoning our money and our energy. And
you're not even playing around. Let's see this. Oh, sorry, that was Trump's old post. I actually had
like everyone's compromised, everything's a scam, everything's corrupted. The whole place is corrupted. We got to just accept that, and then the good people have to step up. That's like where we're at right now.
Okay, all right. So this was Trump today, right? So he says the USA will get a nuclear dust. We'll get the nuclear dust I don't know why nuclear dust is so fucking important. That's buried deep. It's deep and it's underneath a lot of rubble, but they're gonna get the dust and they're gonna bring us the dust. No money will exchange hands in any way, shape, or form. The deal is in no way subject to Lebanon either. But the USA will separately work with Lebanon and deal with Hezbollah's situation in an appropriate manner. Israel will not be bombing Lebanon any longer. They are prohibited from doing so by the USA. Enough is enough. Thank you, DJT, baby.
Yeah. After so many people got destroyed,
after they displaced up to 1 million people, they said they displaced 1 million people, and now all of a sudden you're going to deal with Hezbollah. Hezbollah, this is what I really want to get into everybody's fucking head, and I'm not supporting Hezbollah by this statement. I think their tactics are disgusting, like everybody else's. But Hezbollah was the only thing stopping 1 million fucking people from being displaced. Does everybody fucking understand that? That Israel just took southern fucking Lebanon, displaced up to 1 million people. And they just took it for a safety and security zone. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought they had the fucking Iron Dome around their area where they had a safety and security zone inside. Now they need more of a buffer of Lebanon. Listen, I'm telling you, the Greater Israel Project is taking place right in front of your face. They're telling you it's not happening, but it's happening in real time. Am I wrong? I don't fucking think I am. I don't know. I'm losing my mind with this shit because it's so in front of your face at this point, man. And I really
can't believe Kushner said that. Was that recent or was that from months ago?
No, I think that I just saw this, dude.
That's crazy.
Kushner on New Gaza.
It's literally all the conspiracy theorists from different rabbit holes can unite on this because
it's everything. Everything anybody's been saying about fucking what Israel wanted to do with Netanyahu for the last 40 fucking years. It's all coming to fruition right now in front of our eyes. They are bombing every area that they want to fucking take over. They are bombing it, and guys, they are bombing it. This is demo.
Yeah,
I know it. I am in construction. I know what fucking demo looks like. This is straight up demo. They're doing, you know how much easier it is just to fucking bomb a place and then get rid of the concrete? Crush it back up and fucking sell it. This is great fucking business. You drop a whole bunch of fucking bombs and then you buy a bunch of more. The new business you're going to be doing in Jared Kushner's New Gaza.
And I'm weary of the technology that's going to be used in the Greater Israel Project, the New Gaza, all that, because I think the next step is leading us into a digital system, completely digital. And now that it was a war zone, they'll say, oh, for security purposes, we need like your biological identification. And it's just the beginning. It's the beginning of that nightmare. So
and my biological clock is ticking like this. All right, let's move on to one last topic here, bro. We'll hit this up really fast. Have you heard, because I admittedly do not know much on this topic. Have you heard about the scientists that are going missing? Here is Kilmeade on it.
White House now probing the disappearances of the people behind me, the deaths of 10 scientists at least. Let's break down some of the cases. For example, let's look at Michael David Hicks. He dies at the age of 59 years old. And David Michael Hicks, a longtime JPL scientist involved in asteroid and comet research, no public cause of death given. And then you have a situation like Monica Reza. Monica Reza vanished while hiking under weird circumstances. And then you have William Neal McCaslin. This guy disappeared in February, deep ties to the Air Force research programs. So everyone has a bit of a mystery to their passing. And people are wondering, with the very similar backgrounds, extremely bright people, extremely successful people, extremely valuable people, is this all related? As you heard, the president can't say yes or no.
I love how they all start talking like Trump. a lot of people, the very valuable people, lovely people, some of the best people we have. You gotta fucking love it. And then Will Kane goes on and says where they all are associated with. This is interesting.
Seeing the connections between these individuals. And I have this graph, and I'm not going to be able to hold it up where you'll be able to see it, Martha, but you've got the pictures on the screen now. Look, the tie that binds seems to be General William McNeill Caslin, who oversaw or was a part of the Air Force Research Laboratory. The Air Force Research Laboratory had tentacles that then spread into the NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratories, which, among other things, look into alien life form, the search for alien life, planetary capabilities across the galaxy. And then the nuclear side of this, which is Los Alamos. And all of the people, virtually everybody on your screen, had at least some connection to one of those two properties. They were working with highly sensitive nuclear secrets or looking into things through NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory into outer space.
So, I mean, so there you go, dude. It seems like we have a lot of scientists gone missing. They talked to Trump. Trump's like, yes, I just heard about it. Just got out of a meeting about it with no idea what the fuck's going on, but we will get back to you, So it was one of those. But dude, we have scientists going missing at a time of war that were working on jet propulsion.
Why do you think they got? Let's say they all got killed. Why do you think they all got killed? Or what do you think happened to all of them?
I think if I had to be a betting man, I would say every one of them had sex with Barack Obama, and they were windsurfing a little too close to his shores. That's. I mean, if you wanted me to go full conspiracy theory, I would go with that one. Dude, you know what? Scientists, here's the fucked up part about being a really smart scientist. They kill you. They just fucking kill you. I don't know who kills them. Maybe they're not dead. Maybe they're just like they're taken to where Epstein is, wherever he's hanging out. He's also hanging out with all these NASA scientists. But if you are too smart on this planet, I think the only way you see anything is death. Like, it's like they have to kill you because you're too smart. I think they want dumb motherfuckers. They don't want anybody is able to be able to understand and decipher. I think they want slaves. I think the whole idea, like, even again, I bring this up a lot, and I make a lot of people mad religiously with this stuff, but God in Genesis 3 seems like he wanted a slave. It didn't seem like he wanted us. And then even when you look at Genesis, he goes on to say, man, I can't take these motherfuckers. I got to kill them. I made these bitches, but they went wrong. Something happened. I know I should have did 450 and not 375 for 35 minutes instead of 25. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? It's like he wanted people to blindly follow in Genesis. And that's what bothers me about all of this stuff. Sorry, man. You want to talk about? I lost my train of thought a little bit right there.
No.
There's so much that goes into your head when you hear about all of this shit. But it is when you have scientists going missing, and it just seems like anybody that's so smart and so with it and being able to decipher the crazy shit. And the ones that make the breakthroughs that could really help out humanity and really help, like what you said early in the show, we don't seem like we're progressing. We seem like we're trapped. And I think we're progressing, but who knows, right? But in that case, like, you definitely there's people that seem like we're not, and seem like they're trying to hold us back from progressing. And by killing all of our smartest people, I mean, is that part of what's stopping us from progressing to our full potential? It seems like it could be a possibility, right? I don't know.
I think it factors in, of course. There's been so many independent researchers, inventors, scientists that have created different free energy devices that were poisoned or killed, or these suicides. It's like that you get killed for either knowing something that can help a bunch of people for free. It's either like a way that powerful's gonna lose a lot of money, or you get killed for knowing something that is you're not supposed to find out, kind of thing. Like the secrets of the world.
I'm surprised they haven't killed this Plastoline guy yet. Have you ever seen that guy?
Plastoline?
Yeah.
Nah.
No, you haven't seen that. So it's this dude's black. Like, I don't like the black and white comparisons, but it's accurate to say this dude's black. He's dark. I mean, he's like
trying to give me an image in my mind. It's just a script. Yeah, you're scripted.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's Eddie Murphy dark. He's this real skinny kid. But he takes plastic and somehow distills it back down to
Julian. Julian. What's his name? Yeah, he's still alive. He went missing for 2 months apparently. And then,
he went. I think that was all they to say. Hey, everyone thinking about his ass.
I don't know. Yeah, he's still alive.
He's still alive. He makes Plastidiezel, Plastoline.
Plastoline. That's what you. Okay. Yes. He's one to watch. I mean, we'll see what happens with that. With everything that's happening right now, it's possible and maybe even probable that the whole situation in the Middle East is just to close the Strait of Hormuz, and that's why we grabbed all the oil from Venezuela. That's why we're trying to grab all the oil from Greenland. We're just trying to keep the petrodollar alive.
That would make sense. That's the only thing that makes sense to me out of this entire thing. And if that's the reason why we're doing it, just fucking say it. I don't think it's tough to say, yo, man, we have oil interests. Then I would be fully behind this thing in Iran. If you say, listen, we got to go in there because we just took over Venezuela and they have the heavy crude, and now we need to go get Iran because they have the light crude. And we need to be able to mix that together so we could refine it in our refineries, which we can't, because there's not a lot of places that can handle the heavy crude from Venezuela. It has to be mixed with the light crude.
I don't even know that.
What's that?
That's interesting.
So if you look at it, I think we created like a refinery in Texas somewhere. I can't remember where, but they could handle the Venezuelan crude to where they can refine it. But what they do is that's why Iran and China and Venezuela, they had their thing, because they take the Iranian crude and the Venezuelan crude and they mix that together, and then it's easier to refine because it's not as heavy. The Venezuelan stuff is like fucking sludge, where the other stuff is like, closer to like a liquid. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you mix the two together, boom. Now you have light crude, heavy crude, and you make medium crude. That's obviously what it creates. You know what I'm saying? And then everywhere could refine it. So if they just said that, I would be fucking cool with this whole thing. Don't lie to me. Don't play the game. Don't blame it on nukes that are bullshit, because then you take a guy like me that just clearly sees through the bullshit, and I go, no, I don't agree with why. I don't agree with why you're going. If you gave me a better reason for why you're going, I may have been cooler with it, and I don't know, man. But you're right. So all of a sudden everyone's like, and they're celebrating, I see a lot of Republicans are like, yes, the strait's open and fuck yeah. I go, but we're in the same spot we were before the war. We didn't gain anything yet, guys. Like, and I'm telling you, we're not going to know how this plays out for 15 years. And if you think it's over in the Middle East, you're fucking out of your mind. Hey, bro, last comments. Actually, you know what? I'm going to play two things. This is Ruth Weiss. This is Ben Shapiro's mentor, so to speak. Just to get you in the mood for what you're actually dealing with and what type of people you have that we're up against. Watch this woman's fucking snarl.
What do you have to worry about? Your job is to make us look good. And here's how you do it. You have got to serve 2 or 3 years in the army of words. Don't let the war of words ever be fought about Israel's nature. Israel's nature. Let it be fought about why you can't accept Israel. Why you have to single out this tiny people. Try to find Israel on the map. It's hardly there. We used to play this game, Where's Waldo? Where is Waldo on the map? Are you going to really tell me that this is the country you want to blame? Push them, teach them how to defend by attacking. You've got to do that. You've got to make demands on them. They've got to serve for 3 years in the army of words. The army of words.
The army of words there, buddy.
Crazy times, man.
Dude, I wanted to play that woman because you know what? Wow, have I not been centered on this camera for this entire show? Fucking crazy. Amateur! I wanted to play that woman so you guys understand, you know, the type of people that you're dealing with. They are attackers by being passive. You know, like growing up, my brother and I were similar, but we went about things differently, right? So I was always more vocal. He was more behind the scenes type shit, right? So he would be the dude where if there was an issue, he'd kind of stay quiet, and then he would, you know, make comments and handle things one way, right? And then things were happening bad, you know what I'm talking about? Like he would kind of manipulate the situation behind the scenes in a low key type way. I see something that pisses me off and I'd fucking lose it, right? I would let everybody know what was on my mind and I would fucking give it to them. This is why we're fucked up, blah, 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 blah. And I was always looked at as the asshole. But a lot of the times it bore out that I wasn't. You know what I'm talking about? And it's not talking about bad about my brother. It's just when you're growing up with your brother and you're in like a little weird little competition with him. And you know, it was like one of those things where you go back and forth, and he was good at talking his way calmly through things while making things happen. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what Israel is very good at. They're very good at, you know, calmly talking and saying, oh, it's just little old us, you know, can't be us, little old us, while little old us really has a lot of fucking problems. I don't know. But last words, brother, what do you got?
Well, I would just say from all of this, if anyone, you know, listened to the whole thing, thank you. And then there's been some stuff that's been talked about today that seems crazy, but I think that we should all use the internet, not just for entertainment, but also for the pursuit of information and knowledge. So, you know, just question everything. And I think if we stop believing the mainstream narrative, just taking it for what it is and just not really thinking about it. As soon as we start to analyze it and feel about it and think about it, I think that's the only way for us to get on the same page.
You know, listen, I'll tell you this. Seeming crazy thought a lot of the times isn't crazy. It's the thought that it is crazy that is the problem. You know what I'm getting at? The thought itself isn't crazy. And asking and being curious and questioning, you know, the roundness of Earth and all that. I think it's inherently who we are. I think we should be questioning everything. And you know, if anything, it makes very interesting conversation, right? And it makes a situation where we could talk about things. And who knows, man? You know, you never know what's going to ring on people. And through our dialogue, I'll tell you this: we may not know a lot, but I do know this. Whatever dialogue that I may be having, or maybe a figment of my imagination, or I may be dreaming up, or I may be thinking up, all the dialogue seems to help the way I think that I'm taking place and I'm having with people. So if I am just a thinking thing, dreaming this whole world up, Rikipedia, I am happy I am dreaming you, buddy. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure, bro.
Thank you for having me, bro.
So let's do this. I'm going to end this show the proper way. I'm going to show 1 minute of my son's 1 year monologue, dude. This is my boy Valentino, and he is 1 year old yesterday, but I didn't do a show, obviously. So here's a minute of him. Dude, from the fucking ultrasound picture, you know. Check this out. You see, really, like, that's my favorite picture right there, bro. There's, what, 5 months? That's 5 months right there. No, that's 4. That was 3 months. That's 4 months. That's 5 months. Now watch, you're going to see 8 months, he starts getting it. He starts pumping the size. That's 7. Watch. Now watch 8. Boop! He put on like 20 pounds. 9. And then once 9 months hit, he was mobile, dude. That's it. Like 10 months, he was already walking and shit. him about a year. That was his year waking up to his birthday presents. Little homie.
What a guy. He
Yeah,
got big. He changed from cute little baby to like bigger dude, like just in a few months there.
Dude,
like,
he sits there. He's like he's a little stout son of a bitch. He was what, 26 pounds at a year old. He was 95th percentile in weight, head size, and all that other stuff. Built like a linebacker, bro. Built like a fucking linebacker. And it's weird because it's
amazing.
Me and my wife, we do not make little tiny skinny kids, man. That's just one thing we do not do. You know, we have bigger. We create bigger human beings. Yeah, that's
create and cultivate. Not everyone has the means to feed their kid, and he looks healthy. That's awesome.
Oh no, listen, she puts out what I call top premium breast milk. I mean, it is. You know, I've been trying to get her to pump it and sell it because, dude, it's top. It's premium, right?
Way better
Packed
to
full of
breastfeed than to do any formulas. Way better for the baby.
Dude, let me tell you something. No vaccines for the first year, and
great. I'd love to hear that.
What's that? Yeah, no, he had nothing.
Don't do that. That's amazing, brother.
Yeah, no way. And I got to tell you something. It's here's the God's honest truth. When I look at my other two kids versus him, who now they were 20 years ago, so they didn't have all the vaccines that they had today. And even then, me and Serena put them on like a delayed schedule with all this shit. We were never up to date with their schedule. We're always way back. We never did the combo shots. They got one thing if they went. We never went with multiple things and stuff like that. So we were always conscious of this stuff. But you know, both of my kids always had runny noses. They had a lot of eczema. They had a lot of allergies. Stuffy nose. They were always fucking congested. You know what I'm saying? And I always remember my wife with that fucking blue thing sucking boogers out of their noses and all that stuff. And I got to tell you something. If I was to say immune system wise, he's probably got the best immune system out of the three of my kids based on allergies, food allergies, you know, what he'd eat, what he won't eat, eczema, hair growth, you know, like all of the stuff. It seems like, and listen, now it was the no vaccines. It was breast milk. So my wife with my first one stopped at I think like 8 weeks, and then I think she went like 4 months with my second. But now this one, it's like we are definitely trying to do things like way more holistically. And I got to tell you something. And I'm not saying my kids are unhealthy because they're not. But it definitely seems like my daughter has a constant allergy issue in her nose. She's always congested. She always has her ears like where she always needed tubes in her ears, shit like that. But kids, think about how many kids need tubes in their ears today. But dude, it just seems like his overall immune health and his body and everything is just way healthier. It's weird. It's hard to describe. No eggs. Like the only place he gets eczema maybe is when it's like the heat where, you know, like in his fat creases. That's about it. Yeah, it's interesting.
Wow, all we can hope is for the health of our kids, and you know, maybe we can talk about vaccines and the healthcare system another time.
Yeah, we definitely will. Hey, bro, listen, we went almost fucking 2 hours. That 2 hours flew by, bro. Rikipedia, man, listen, I could have you on every day of the week. Sorry, hey guys, he was supposed to be on last week. I fucking totally spaced. I totally spaced. Working way too hard. I totally forgot to even send you the fucking link. Then we had the other two guests last week, didn't we? I thought we had two. I thought I was supposed to have 3 guests on last week. Bro, that is totally my fault. I hope you forgive me, buddy. I hope you forgive me. But listen, everybody, that is my man, Rikipedia. Everybody, I listen. What you could do for me, obviously, is figure the fuck out of my like button. And guys, for the love of God, I got this fucking call-in line. Call the fucking show. When I have it up there, I need you to call on the show because I think that was funny.
Maybe when it's a little bit less crazy.
What was that? Who was that last guy? Istanbul?
No, I'm not saying he was crazy. I mean the topic. Maybe when the topic is a little bit more palatable.
No, dude, listen. We got to get. I got to get like random callers that are repeat callers like him. What was his name? Istanbul. It's Ishmael.
Yeah.
Oh man, we have to get like callers like I need like a Howard Stern line, you know, with like Gary the retard and shit like that. Like I need those type of people. I think that would be
small beginnings, so we're good.
Yeah, I think that would be great. But everybody, man, I wish you have a great weekend. We didn't do a Monday show, so thank you, Rick. We were able to make up the hour tonight with all the things I had going on. I had to skip on Monday. But thank you guys very much. Be a caltrop this weekend. Be a caltrop. Like Rick said, question fucking everything, even the plane of existence you're on today. And I mean it, guys. It's good advice. Thank you guys very much. This caltrop is out. Later.